What is up guys, this is Yasin and Nizami and you are watching The Passionate Realtor, one of the fastest growing YouTube channel focused on Canadian real estate market in general, with particular focus in Toronto GTA as well as some of the macroeconomic factors that has an impact on the Canadian real estate market. In this video, we're going to cover the latest statistics came out from TREP last week for the month of July. And we're going to look at the infographic to understand where the market is going, what's the trend, so you guys can make an educated decision about your real estate investment. Without further ado, let's dive in. So I'm sharing my screen. So if you look at this chart, it is basically showing the residential statistics. The total number of transactions dropped 14.9% compared to this time last year. And this is not surprising, guys, because as we saw, the March was the peak in the market, right? Since then, the market is slowing down, the number of transactions are dropping, and we see a significant drop compared to this time last year. Now, seasonally adjusted figures is showing a 2% drop month over month comparison. So back in June, almost 9,000 transactions, and now in July it's 8,827. So a very small drop, but it is showing the trend that the market is kind of slowing down in terms of volume and number of transactions. Now the interesting part is the average selling price. So as I've talked about in my previous video, when you read the headlines that the market is cooling off, the market is slowing down, it doesn't mean the price is dropping. It's the volume of transactions, it's the demand in terms of, bidding wars that is certainly, slowing down. But when we look at the average selling price, that is still going up 12.6% compared to last year this time. If you take a look at the month over month comparison, still 0.9% up, right? It is still either stable or kind of sliding a little bit up, but it is certainly not going down. And one of the reasons is basically the listings as well. When you look at the total new listing, you can see a significant drop compared to last year this time. 30% drop in terms of total listing. And if you look at the sales to new listing ratio, which means basically how many new listings are being absorbed in the market, which is 14% month over month comparison. So the volume is dropped. There are less buyers in the market to purchase the property, but equally we have less amount of products to be sold on the shelf, right? So there's not a lot of inventory available to be absorbed in the market, which is why we're not seeing any downward price pressure at this stage. Now, days on the market is also dropped compared to last year this time, 20% drop, which means the market is still very competitive, it's very tight, even though there are less buyers, less bidding, the volume of transactions are low, but the inventory is also low, not new listings are coming up, which is why we see the days on the market is dropped as well. And if you look at the month over month comparison, again, minus 11.8%. So that shows you guys the statistics are kind of showing you the proof that the market is still tight and there are no signs of dropping the price, the average selling price. It is kind of stable or maybe slightly kind of inching up. Now look at the condo sales, right? So the condo sales, significant rise in demand. So 155% rise in terms of number of transactions compared to last year this time, which is huge. We know that condo was a disaster last year, but now we're seeing a huge demand coming into the condo market. And if you look at the average selling price, this is also 10% up, right, compared to last year this time. Condo prices were stagnant last year, we saw, and we didn't see any movement throughout the last year, but now we're seeing the 10.8% up compared to this time last year. And if you look at the condo listings, so 64.6% up compared to last year. So significant rise of listing as well. So one of the reasons why we're not seeing a huge price increase in condo market today is because the listing is also significant right now compared to last year. And we saw, last year there was a huge spike in terms of condo listing, which kind of drove the price pressure down. But still the listing is quite healthy in the market, which is why we're not seeing a huge significant spike in terms of condo pricing. If you look at the sales to new listing ratio, 22% up, very healthy, which means a lot of new listings that are coming into the market are being absorbed. The days of the market is, look at that, 31.6% drop compared to last year. So last year situation and this year situation is very different for condos. If you look at the rental statistics for condo, 104% rise of rental applications or transactions compared to last year. Significant demand that is being shown here. The average one bedroom apartment rent is still negative 9.4% drop, but looking at the demand, number of transactions, and the prediction, once the borders are open, I see a huge activity happening in the condo market, both in the rental as well as the sale and purchase. The conclusion here, guys, is the single family home market is kind of stable. Like, we have seen a significant drop in terms of number of transactions, but the pricing is not going down. It's kind of stable. So far, we haven't seen any significant signs of downward trend of pricing from single family home perspective. If you look at the condo market, it is showing a strong demand both from rental and from resale perspective. And we are predicting that once the borders are open, the people are coming out, traveling, Airbnb business will boom. Everything goes fine with regards to COVID situation. I see the condo market is going up from here. Similarly, the single family home market is kind of staying stable, if not going up or down. So the market is still pretty tight in terms of a seller's perspective. Let me know what do you think about this statistics, your comments, your question, put them down in the comment section, and I will be happy to help you and answer them. Until my next video, take care.